I finally got to check out a newer movie last night, and we're going to talk about it right now. Let's do it. Hey, welcome back to my channel. Hope everyone's doing well out there. And today we're going to talk about a newer film, a film that was released back on November 13th of 2020. A film I wanted to see very badly, but unfortunately in my area most of the theaters weren't open, and I didn't get a chance to see it. Now, yesterday it dropped on iTunes for purchase for $14.99, which that's how I saw it. And that movie is Freaky. It's available on other streaming services as well, and I do believe it's for rent still. So if you want to check it out, you can do so on any your streaming service of choice. This movie's rated R. It's an hour and 42 minutes long, had a budget of $5 million, and upon release it made 8.9 in America and 15.1 worldwide. Now, after seeing this film, I would say if the theaters were fully open, it would have did much, much better at the box office. Now, this movie was written and directed by Christopher Landon. He had directed and wrote the Happy Death Day films. I have not seen those. And I think I saw in his filmography, he also wrote one of the Paranormal Activity films. I wasn't a huge fan of that franchise, but I thought I saw that. Now, in this film, and the reason why I really wanted to see it from the trailer was Vince Vaughn plays the Butcher, or the Blissfield Butcher. And Vince Vaughn playing a serial killer, yes, please, I'll take some of that. And Catherine Newton plays Millie. She was just in Detective Pikachu a little the summer before, and I took my son to see that. That's where I remember her from. She's done other things, but that's the one thing I've seen her in besides this film. And this next actress I'm only mentioning because there's a little trivia behind it. Katie Fitteran plays Coral, her mother, Millie's mother, and she was in, when I saw her pop up on screen, I'm like, is that Judy Rose from Night of the Living Dead 1990? And sure enough, with a little research, that was her first film. She was in Tom Savini's Night of the Living Dead 1990 as Judy Rose. She was the young lady in that couple, in that relationship with that other young man that was in the farmhouse with everything going on with the zombie apocalypse starting. So yes, that was her first film role, and she's in this film as well, and that was pretty cool to find out. The original title for this film was Freaky Friday the 13th, and when you see the film, if you check it out, you'll know why immediately. Most of this film takes place on Friday the 13th, and they play homage to Friday the 13th as well. This is going to be a non-spoiler review. I'm going to keep it as mostly non-spoiler as I possibly can. This film is basically, if you saw the trailer, you know the gist of this film. This girl gets chased by Billy gets chased by the Blissfield Butcher, played by Vince Vaughn, and they swap bodies. And the next morning, the Butcher wakes up in Millie's body and has to figure out what the hell's going on. And Millie wakes up in the Butcher's body. And it's fun to see them two getting used to their new bodies and getting used to their new situation. Because now Millie's in a spot where she has to convince her friends that she is not the Butcher, but she is Millie. And there's a hilarious scene in the kitchen in the high school where she does this, Vince Vaughn does this dance, this cheer, to convince her friends that it's really her and not the Butcher. And Vince Vaughn is fantastic in this scene and fantastic throughout the whole film. I mean, Vince Vaughn really goes for broke in this film, and he gives a great performance. And I got to be honest, Catherine Newton, this is only the second thing I've ever seen her in, and she does fantastic with portraying Vince Vaughn's character throughout most of the film as well. We get a great opening scene here with these two couples at this big house, and the Butcher shows up. I'm not going to spoil anything, but I will say this film goes for broke on the gore front. The kills are very bloody and inventive and gruesome, a bit over the top at times, but just fun. It's just a fun film. I can't say that enough. And as the film goes on, obviously, once she convinces her friends that she is Millie, they're trying to figure out, they find out they have less than 24 hours to swap back or she's going to be stuck in the Blissfield Butcher's body. All due to this knife that was used in ritual sacrifices back by the Aztecs, they find out. So that's pretty much the MacGuffin of the whole film. Them trying to figure out how to get Millie back in the Butcher's body, which they do, and they have less than 24 hours, so they're on a time crunch. And that's the gist of Freaky. And I got to be honest, the director keeps the pace moving for the most part. It's directed nicely. There are some tense moments, but really he just keeps it fun and hardcore R-rated slasher film. Matter of fact, I will say up front, this is my favorite slasher film I've seen in a while. I mean, not that we've had that many, honestly, lately, but it's definitely a fun time at the movies or at home watching it, as it were. But yeah, all the kills are bloody and inventive. I had fun with them. They have fun with the genre without winking at the camera too much. You know what I'm saying? They're not making fun of the genre. They're having fun with it, a lot like Scream did, without getting into parody territory. And I mean, the movie, all the actors do well here. Every actor in the film is doing really good. But the movie hinges on Vince Vaughn's performance and Catherine Newton's performance. If those performances didn't work, this film wouldn't be as fun as it is. Vince Vaughn is terrific as the killer, and he's terrific playing a teenage girl in high school. He really gives a great performance. And when I'm talking about Vince Vaughn, a movie that I know some people talk about, but I feel like it's very underrated, very underseen, and he gives an awesome performance in, is a movie called Brawl in Cell Block 99. I will do a review on that film down the line. I love that film, and Vince Vaughn, pardon my French, is fucking awesome in that film. He should have got nominated for an Oscar off that film. If you ever get a chance, check it out. Brawl in Cell Block 99. Now back to Freaky. I would give Freaky an 8 out of 10. I feel in the middle of the film it could have been trimmed down a little bit. I mean, the movie is only an hour and 42 minutes. I still say there's about 5 minutes that you would not miss if they trimmed it out. But overall, I really had a blast with this film. It's well acted. It's well directed. I appreciated the go for brokeness with the kills and the go for brokeness with the performances by Vince Vaughn and Catherine Newton. And again, all the other actors do great work as well. It's just those two actors, it all comes down to how they come off on screen. And thank God they had two actors that were up for the challenge, and they pull it off beautifully. I really appreciated this film. It was just a fun time with a horror film. I like the twist on the Freaky Friday scenario. And yeah, they took something that's been around for a while, put a new twist on it, packaged it together, and made it a very entertaining slasher film. So bravo for Blumhouse and Christopher Landon for pulling it off. And again, 8 out of 10 for this film. If you get a chance, check it out. I highly recommend it, especially if you're a slasher fan. I don't think you'll be disappointed. So yes, 8 out of 10 for Freaky. Have you seen this film yet? Leave a comment down below. Let me know. Hit the thumbs up. Hit the subscribe button. Share this video. I greatly would appreciate that. I hope everyone has a kick-ass weekend, and I'll be back next week with some more reviews. Thanks. Bye.